The review must go on, and our next character in the second core group is Ray. Here we have Ray. He was obviously created to fill in the gap for grapplers, as Xuan was clearly not enough, and this guy is the actual heavyweight. It's interesting to see how they didn't go with the pro wrestler idea. Instead of that, they went for a military grappler. As I say, this is the second core and every character is involved in this world and the plot, so having military investigating the tournament brings more sense to the table. Ray has a rich backstory with other of the second core characters, and as I said, it helps to make the plot more intricate, but I'll talk about that later. Now let's focus on his design. And yes, he is a very simple design, and I mean really simple. Bare chest, gauntlets, pants, and combat boots, nothing like that. In the physique aspect, Ray is said to be 36 years old. He is a bulk of muscles, short black hair, tan skin, and Jinkasama eyebrows. Nothing to complain about it, you couldn't wait for a Bishonen when he is clearly conceived as a rugged military guy. Now his gloves are wrapped in locket bands and his arms too, just like I've been saying, the standard Jade Studio thing. But when it comes to his pants, the belts are actually arranged in a way that makes sense as a part of a structure. One could argue these are part of a harness, of a bigger part of gear or expedition outfit that shall be able to tap to each other. It's only that Ray obviously took the other clothes off to fight, and it makes much sense. Actually, it looks very well. The only thing they could have improved it would be if you could see him in the intro or at least in some artwork with the full outfit or uniform, so we could compare. I'm actually very interested on seeing him in the whole uniform, and I think it could round his character way better that way. I like it how they went to a very different fabric for his pants, that it's a mix between leather and corduroy I think, instead of simply going to the classic camo pants or cargo pants from other military characters. It gives him a more recognizable design and I like it how this deep green color fit to the design, it really helps him to differentiate from other characters of the like. And another important aspect of this character that ties with the story is the scar on his chest. It was supposedly inflicted to him by his brother when he was a child, so it's interesting to see this part of the plot reflected in the actual game. And it's way more important than Clark's scar that's supposed to be taken after Ralph rescued it from a trap. This character has a gimmick too, and it's a barrel of water or sake I guess he carries with him to every fight. Water is supposed to be this character's motive. He is always drinking from this barrel at the beginning of the fight, and at certain point he can even smash the opponent with it like a projectile. Some people could say it's similar to Hakan's oil, but I think the barrel of water is a very good addition to make Ray more special. In a nutshell, I could say the design is somewhat lacking. It is just too simple, and while it doesn't look bad, it will have needed a few more elements to make him actually memorable. Now, the extra costume is one I'm not particularly fond of. If you wanted to see how Ray would have looked if he was an stereotypical American military, there you go. You have the camo pants, these rope-leafed pockets, the spiked gloves, the bullets. Some friends actually say they like this design and even prefer it to the main one, but although with more elements, I say it looks way too cliché, unlike the main one. My main complaint is that it doesn't even look like Ray, but act like a completely different character. They changed the hair color, the skin too, they give him a beard and meh. I would actually have preferred to see more of Ray instead of this. Probably Ray wearing the full uniform or something else to round more his character, but yeah, whatever. Ray's gameplay is pretty straightforward as a grappler, with a throw, an anti-air, and some things as a parry, and a very Abel-like chain move. Otherwise, I like these extra moves when he punches in the ground and stone shards rise, and the super when he lands over the enemy and causes a water puddle to squirt. Despite being obviously taken from Ralph and Maxima, they gave this character a higher profile and depict him as an actual destruction machine that can devastate the environment around him. Also, the addition of the parry as an exclusive mechanic for him is a great way to differentiate Ray from the other fighters from the roster and has actual possibilities in a fight. About his personality, I don't think there's much to say. He's simply a thug, but not rude soldier. A good military, I guess, and I'm saying yes, he is good, as it is stated he saved Prayut from being killed once. His voice is actually good, firm, deep, and energetic. It helps to bring Ray more personality than the actual sprite can. So this is my review for Ray. I think the character tries to bring some new things to the already tired and boring world of grapplers. At least he is way better than this monstrosity. But the design still could have been much better. I've read people saying he is like the least exciting characters from Xuan Wang, and it's not easy not to agree with that. However, if unattractive gameplay wise, he is playing okay within the game, and the extra involvement on the plot helps him to rise a little his profile on the roster. What takes us to see you next time for Ray's Brother review, and thanks for watching.
KO!